Hi, I hope you're enjoying this venue series so far. Today we're going to be tackling how to negotiate with your wedding venue. But first, a little word from our sponsor. The first thing to understand about negotiating with wedding venues is what you can actually negotiate on. Not everything is up for grabs, and it's important, if you're going to do this in an expert way, that you know the three main areas that you can negotiate on. Those are exclusive suppliers, change of flow, and price. First, let's talk about exclusive suppliers. So depending on where you are coming from in the world, you may or may not be used to wedding venues having exclusive suppliers built into their package. So in Portugal, this is a very, very common thing, and it drives me nuts. Usually they have exclusive decorations, sometimes they have exclusive DJs and sound effects, which doesn't always work with our type of clientele. As we have an international audience, so we need to make sure that that DJ can speak English and is able to customize their music choices to our couple. The way in which they are exclusive can be in a range of ways. So it could be a contractual exclusivity that they have with the venue, which is much harder to get out of. It could just be a handshake deal that they have. It could be a member of the family. That also happens if the wedding venue is a family business and they have a member of the family that always does the decoration or always does the DJs or something. Depending on what the relationship is, it'll be easier or not to get out of that relationship. So the first tip to note is that you can't always negotiate this away. So if you are looking for a venue and you're still in this stage of searching for a venue, then be sure to ask them if they have any exclusive suppliers and if you can change those suppliers at all. If you can't change the suppliers and that's really going to bother you, then I would recommend going elsewhere. So the main tip here on how to negotiate this away is to make the venue coordinator feel like you are doing them a favor. What I mean to say by this is that you are taking it off of their hands. It is something that they do not need to worry about. Venue coordinators have a really tough job. They are dealing with sometimes up to 80 weddings a year. They have such a blur of couples, and if they are dealing with the decoration and the DJ and all of that personalization for all of those couples, it drives them insane. It is a lot of work, and as much as they may be up for doing that for you, you could actually be relieving them by taking that job off of their hands. If you say that you can deal with the decoration yourselves and you've got your own decorators, and of course you will liaise with the venues about who those decorators are, etc., then they might be actually super grateful that you are giving them one less job to do. The next thing you can negotiate on is change of flow. So what I mean by this is, say they always have the ceremony in one part of the garden. They always have it in the olive garden, for example, but you want to do it on the platform in front of the vineyard, which is another part of the venue that you saw and you loved it. You could just imagine your ceremony being there. Now, anything out of the ordinary for a venue is a negotiation at the end of the day. The first tip here is to listen to any logistical concerns. There might be a logistical reason as to why they don't do ceremonies there, but very, very often the venue just hasn't thought of it that way before. They just haven't considered the way that you want to do things as an option. Case in point, I have done outdoor meals in Portugal, and many wedding venues in Portugal have just never considered that as an option. So you may actually be opening their eyes to new ways of running a wedding. The key phrase here is, this would make our wedding amazing. Show them that this small change of flow can be the difference in making your destination wedding perfect. Finally, let's talk about price. So the golden rule of negotiating on price is to remember that you can't ask for everything and get a lower price point. That's not how negotiation works. There's always a push and pull, a give and take, a compromise. If you ask for extra things to be thrown in and the same price to be maintained with no compromise at all, then it will almost definitely get a no. It makes no financial sense for them to give you more for no reason. So there are two main ways of negotiating on price. You can give them a budget. So say that we want to spend €100 per person, included VAT. What can you give us in your package for that? Get them to create a custom proposal for you, a custom menu within that budget, and then negotiate on what that menu includes. The second way to negotiate on price is to already have some conditions for a good negotiation lined up. So for example, a good negotiation point is having your wedding on a weekday. Having your wedding on a weekday can help you cut down on price because the venue wouldn't already be used. You are actually giving them an extra bit of income that week. Other points of negotiation are low season dates, which tend to be between October and April. Limiting the menu in some ways. So for example, taking less canapes or having one main instead of two mains, things like that. You can also, of course, combine these two ways of negotiating on price, which is what I tend to do. So I say that our couple has a budget of €100 per person, including VAT. Here are some ideas of how we can achieve that budget. And then we put that to the venue and the venue comes back to us with their thoughts and we just continue that negotiation. I kind of know where I can push the buttons with certain venues. So if you have that background of expertise, then absolutely combine those two methods. If you don't, I would say the easiest thing is to tell them your budget and let them create a proposal for the budget. Power tip here, okay? Never give them your full budget, ever. Don't do it. So if you actually have the budget of €120 per person, including VAT, then give them the €100 per person VAT. Try and undercut as much as possible. They don't know how much you have, and there is always a good chance that you might add on some extras a little bit way down the line. So at your initial negotiation, you might negotiate it to €100 per person, including VAT, but then later on you want to add some more premium drinks, or you want to re-add some of the things that you took out of the menu originally, then your budget will go back up. So it's better to start at the lower point and negotiate at the lower point so that you have wiggle room to go higher. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please do check out Venues by Nulyweds. The links are all down in the description. And until next time, take care. Bye bye.